Welcome. I am Kelly Conley, ILEARN Program Lead at the Indiana Department of Education. The Office of Student Assessment often receives several calls and emails throughout the school year from administrators and educators about how best to schedule ILEARN assessments. This brief informational video will provide details about how to navigate the untimed nature of the ILEARN assessments and hopefully put to rest any anxiety that may exist when creating local test schedules. The ILEARN program consists of untimed assessments. So ever since Indiana transitioned from iStep Plus to ILEARN with the onset of the 2018-2019 school year, and in recent weeks, given the increase in remote learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our office has understandably received a lot of feedback from educators about how to schedule ILEARN assessments. Basically, schools want to know three things. What flexibility do schools have when creating their local ILEARN testing schedules? What should schools or corporations do if the posted guidance does not address specific questions or concerns? And how should schools schedule testing for students learning remotely due to COVID-19? I will address each question over the course of the next few slides. Before I discuss schools' flexibility for scheduling ILEARN assessments, I want to begin by highlighting this year's ILEARN test windows. Students must participate in all ILEARN testing for their grade level within the defined test window. Most students will engage with ILEARN assessments during the spring. However, the ILEARN Biology ECA is available to students throughout the school year to align with schools' course calendars. Students must participate in the ILEARN Biology ECA once upon completion of the high school biology course. The U.S. government ECA is available only in the spring. There are no retest opportunities for any ILEARN assessments. How much flexibility do schools have when scheduling ILEARN assessments? A lot. If you haven't already done so, please review the 2020-2021 ILEARN scheduling and timing guidance that is posted on the ILEARN for Educators page of our website. It is a resource schools should reference when developing the local testing schedules and navigating the occasional changes that will inevitably occur during the live test window. We did our best to ensure this year's guidance reflects all of the elements that educators requested and/or often asked about over the course of the 2018-2019 school year. While IDOE expects schools to follow this guidance when creating test schedules and administering tests to students, we understand that unexpected events can and often will occur. Please try to stay calm in those moments, be flexible, and contact us so we can help you navigate those curveballs to get students and test administrators back on track. This table outlines the content areas tested at each grade level, as well as the two available end-of-course assessments. The online test segments administered to students are also noted, along with a bit of information regarding their respective expiration. The scheduling and timing guidance goes into much greater detail regarding the parameters for scheduling test segments for all students. Table 2 of this year's scheduling and timing guidance reflects testing time ranges schools may use when developing local testing schedules. While based on year 1 data, students may need more or less time, and that's okay, as long as students complete all assigned tests before the end of the established test window. IDOE understands that the ILEARN testing schedule for one school will likely look different than that for another school. This could even be true for two schools within the same school corporation. Consider the department's scheduling and timing guidance, and then reflect on how to apply it given the many variables that make your school unique. Our guidance is intended to be very comprehensive and outline a few guardrails, so to speak, but we realize that it does not cover every possible nuance to accommodate an untimed assessment model. If you have questions or concerns, or perhaps you want to discuss possible solutions to your unique scenario, please pick up the phone and call us. We will be happy to talk with you and offer some suggestions. Since summative assessments are not permitted to be administered remotely, let's talk about some tips for administration with remote learners. These tips are not exhaustive and are not intended to be limited, but to get you started with ideas. You could bring students on site one at a time or in small groups for test administration. Another option is to schedule tests to administer them to your remote learners at different times than your on site learners. You can test on evenings and weekends. If you are planning to test larger groups certain evenings or weekends, please alert IDOE so that we can have a staff member available during those hours to provide you with support in case it's needed. You could also use the Homebound Students Assessment Protocol, which is documented in the Indiana Assessments Policy Manual, to administer tests at an alternative secure location, such as a local library or a student's home. Additionally, there is flexibility available for administering test sessions to different groups of students on different days. However, please work to be cognizant of when you expose different groups of students to test content, especially highly memorable content like the writing prompt. The more you can keep students on similar testing schedules, the less risk your corporation will experience a test security event related to students sharing test content with each other. As discussed earlier in this presentation, the 2020-2021 ILEARN Scheduling and Timing Guidance is your starting point when creating local ILEARN testing schedules. This guidance, along with several other resources, is located in the ILEARN for Educators section of the department's website. Please contact me or Jennifer Wu if you have questions about scheduling ILEARN tests or other components of the ILEARN program. We are happy to help however we can. We hope this overview of how to schedule ILEARN assessments has been helpful. Thank you for listening.